You know, it's my fixing series. Let's just use the DVD specials in the actual season. So this is our Halloween clip show. Calvin finds this weird new board game and gets all the ninjas to play it with him. The game Grave Robbers is basically a copyright-free version of Nightmare or Atmosphere. But it turns out to be a trap. The ninjas are sucked into a subdimension, and the gatekeeper of this game is Fangor, the contestant that's also a vampire. Well, now that I think about it, Nightmare did also have a vampire expansion. And of course, the obvious choice for playing a vampire in this show, when I'm casting WWE wrestlers, The Undertaker.
Sometimes it's hell getting to heaven.
If you defeat me, you end the streak. If I beat you, your career is over.
So the ninjas have to play not Nightmare by going around the board and collecting keys. Meanwhile, they also have to fight, reuse, and unused footage from past episodes. And if they get to the end with their keys, then they get to fight Fangor for their freedom. Brody, Haley, and Levi make it all the way, and they fight him, yada yada, and we debut the Blazing Lion Megazord, yeah! And everyone gets free, and goes to a Halloween concert by Levi. Geez, Brody's dressed like a caveman. I wonder if that's a reference to something. Why would Peter Sadarso do such a thing? Especially given that his brother, Yoshi, is right there. Can you guess the connection? And Calvin is dressed as the Ultimate Warrior, validating my dumb wrestling gimmick for the season. A super fan of Galaxy Wars arrives, Badana. She wants to sponsor contestants for the show. Banana's voice in original Ninja Steel was not very good, so let's recast her with Christina V, who does have Power Ranger experience, being Vesper and Hyperforce, which would have been around the same time as Ninja Steel.
Who's exterminating who again? Can we wrap up the chit-chat? I have some heroes to shred. You two!
Galvanax and Tynamon are kind of against the idea of letting her on, but Cosmo and Odious like the idea of including fans. So after debate, she's allowed on, and she sends out her contestant. Meanwhile, Brody, along with Victor, is trying out for the baseball team. Shenanigans ensue, especially when the contestant joins in. Something, and then they get the contestant to play baseball with them, and they defeat him. But at the end of this episode, Odious invites Badana into her office, revealing that she let her on because she needs an ally in the Galaxy Warriors to fulfill her plans. Oh, and also the Blazing Lion Fortress is behind the base, like getting kept. And all the robots, except for Cyanbot, is also staying at the house with Brody and Boom. In case you guys were wondering, I might not reference them, but like, if I don't, just assume they're at the base, like hanging out in the background. Also, I just thought of a voice for Greybot. Shelby Rabara, best known as Peridot in Steven Universe.
Why, yes, Pearl. I did get taller. How correct of you to notice. Of course, Amethyst. I will acquire those cheesy chaps for you off that very high shelf.
Badana and Odious are plotting a way to get more views and collect a lot of power. So Badana suggests the idea, let's make our own Ranger team. And Odious likes this, so they form the Galactic Ninjas out of a bunch of contestants. This team up is adding a lot of spice to all these contestants, and the audience is going wild. Odious also gives them special Ninja Steel gears, to augment their powers, which also explains where all the Galaxy Warriors Ninja Steel went. But still, keeping with Galaxy Warrior tradition, we sent one at a time with Speedwing, played by Stardust, Cody Rhodes.
Did you know? I'm maturing. Did you know that Galileo was the very first, the absolute first, number one, the trend-setting, groundbreaking first guy to look through a telescope?
Also, Odious gave the Galactic Ninjas cool, unique foot soldiers, the Foxtrons, which are totally not based off of her for reals. Galvanax isn't really too sure about all this new stuff that Odious is throwing around. Cosmo is absolutely loving all of this viewership and viewer participation. Speedwing creates a force field around a playground full of kids. Only he can enter, and he'll free the kids if he gets the power shurikens from the ninjas. But only if they beat him in a race. And then Preston just hits him with a truth magic beam, and he reveals that only non-adamant objects can enter the force field as well. So Sarah chooses to race Speedwing on her Zoom Zord in hoverboard mode. But it turns out that it was only just a ninja clone of her, as all the ninjas, thanks to Preston's magic, turn into toys to get into the force field. And we have some self-deprecating humor about Bandai not being the greatest with toys and articulation, toy humor, all that sort. They break the force field as Speedwing realizes it, and then shenanigans, including a super speed shuriken, yada yada, to defeat him, with some kind of cool aerial combat. But then it turns out that Odious didn't really care about the contestants. Her plan is experimenting on a Ninja Steel and charging them, so then she can later use them to power up her Odious Megazord, which is really what all the Ninja Steel went to that Galvanax doesn't know about. It's like currently person size, but she plans to grow it giant when she actually wants to reveal it.